All right, so take two. This is just a quick viewing of my Blu-ray audio collection. I have John Lennon's Gimme Some Truth. It is the box set, as you can see, so it's a nice featured set. And on the rear, you'll see a listing of the songs, so you'll see that it's pretty much a greatest hits CD. I know he did one for another album as well that escapes me right now, that is in Blu-ray format, but this is a great addition to anybody's Blu-ray set. So next up, I have a Blu-ray that comes in a standard Blu-ray case, as you can see here, but it's not a video. It's the high-fidelity pure audio version of Alan Parsons Project's Eye in the Sky, 5.1 surround sound mix from 2017, and a stereo HD version from 1982. I'll flip it over. The song listings on the back. Serious Eye in the Sky. That combination of songs together are what brought me to this album in the first place. And I was a fan of Psychobabble as well, but it's a great sounding album, well worth it. Nice pickup. And you can see TTS Digital 5.1 surround. Next up, I have the Blu-ray version of Pink Floyd's Animals. This was also released, I believe, on SACD recently. It does say 2018 mix, but it just took a long time for this thing to come out. Album cover, I think, is a modernized version of what was originally there. And on the back, you have a listing of the album's songs: Pigs on the Wing, Dogs and So On, Pigs, 3 different ones, and Sheep, and then Pigs on the Wing too. Great sounding album. I've never heard this album before I purchased this, so it was a thrill, actually, to get this one. This goes back to the way the format actually originally looked. You can see the casing. It says high fidelity pure audio. It's the only one I have of this style. Planning on getting Bryan Adams Reckless, which would look like this as well. This is Supertramp's Crime of the Century. It's the most recent addition to my high-res collection. And as you can see, it has the song School, Bloody Well Right, Dreamer. Those are the hits, but a lot of good songs on this. This sounds great. It is, however, only a stereo version. No 5.1, unfortunately. So next up in my Blu-ray audio collection are some Steven Wilson, as you can see here, solo albums. I actually started by buying Steven Wilson Future Bites. Just flip it over and have a quick look. Unself Self. What's the real hit here? I'm trying to think. Maybe it was Unself. Great tune. Again, 5.1 surround on this thing, so it sounds great. This one here, Steven Wilson To the Bone. I picked that up recently, locally actually. It was available at a local Sunrise Records. Caught me by surprise. I'm not used to seeing this. 96/24 stereo, but also 5.1 surround sound version of the album. So, great album. This is an EP by him. It's called 4.5, hence the 4.5 stripes, I guess, here. This is in, it's enclosed in a sleeve here, so the actual album cover looks like this. And the listing of the songs, My Book of Regrets, 2 Years of the Plague, and so on. Again, this is one I got recently for Christmas this year, 2022. Or this past year, 2022. And I haven't really given it a good listen yet, but it sounded great on first listen. Also got a lot more of Steven Wilson. I got Grace for Drowning. This one features the CD version and also the Blu-ray. Again, 5.1 surround. Great album. I'll just put that to the side for a second. Hand Cannot Erase. This is an amazing album. Again, 5.1 surround, CD and Blu-ray, little box set. One of my favorites, by the way. And possibly my favorite Steven Wilson is, of course, The Raven That Refused to Sing and Other Stories. So some great tunes on this. Again, Steven Wilson's 5.1. I do also have a Steven Wilson DVD set, which I'll show you briefly. But, you know, it does have 5.1 surround, but it's a concert from the Royal Albert Hall. Some great tunes on it. Sort of a fine collection of his material up to that date. And a great show, actually. Epic. So, change format now. This is my very first SACD I think I purchased. It was Dire Straits Brothers in Arms 21st Anniversary Edition. Not much on the front ever to tell you that this is an SACD and not the regular CD. But if you look on the back, you will notice the DSD Super Audio CD logos. So that indicates that it is actually the SACD version. Really like this album. Always have. Had a cassette that I wore out. Okay, so next up we got Norah Jones, Come Away With Me. This one does say Super Audio CD on the spine there, as you can see. So you don't have to look at the back to notice the labeling. But yeah, it's an SACD DSD. Again, this is stereo but multi-channel as well. So that's a great feature. I love multi-channel. This is a little bit off my beaten path because I'm not a classical music fan. But I did find, as you can see here, Super Audio CD. This is Bach. Keyboard Concertos number one, sorry. And it was just a pickup. It does have multi-channel. Found this at just a local thrift store. So I couldn't pass up any SACD when I see it, so I picked this one up as well. Similarly, I found this, which looks like a very standard CD version of Billy Joel, The Stranger. I flipped it over while I was in the line looking at it, and lo and behold, it's a Super Audio CD DSD, but note, only stereo version. Apparently there is a multi-channel version of this, which I'd like to get my hands on. But when you only pay a couple of bucks for an SACD, you're doing good. The classic Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Again, an SACD in a CD box. We'll flip it over just to have a look and see. Oh yeah, there's the logo right there, Super Audio CD. I'm not sure. I know this has been done multiple times. This is 2003 copyright, so I guess whoever was responsible, whatever mixer did this one. This is, I believe, this was part of a major haul of CDs that I picked up, or I should say SACDs, and a few DVD audios that were thrown in for good measure for a really good price. So, great deal. This is one of my very first pickups via Discogs. It was shipped to me from Canada. It's in great shape. It's Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and again, as you can see, it's DSD, Super Audio, and stereo multi-channel, which is something I look for. DSD mastering on this one. This is the best this album's ever sounded. I've always loved this album. It gets a little overplayed, but still a good album. At a recent record show, I managed to pick up The Police, Every Breath You Take, and it is, as I said in past, look for the logos, DSD, Super Audio. It's SACD stereo and SACD surround sound. Not a great mix on some of this, but a lot of great hits. A couple songs are different versions than the originals, and they don't sound quite as good in my opinion, but that's it. It's still a good pickup. This was picked up at a local record little outlet day thing that they had for everybody. Mostly vinyl, but I found this one, and I said for 20 bucks. I don't know, but I got a better deal than that, but it was probably about 20 bucks. These two, as you can see, Dylan, we have revisited the reissue series. All right. And this is Blonde on Blonde. And again, it is SACD, DSD, and it is surround sound and stereo mixes. I'm not a big Dylan fan, but I was thrilled to get these together along with the Pink Floyd, which is what I was really after, but these sound great. The other one is, of course, Blood on the Tracks. Again, classic album and Super Audio DSD with the compact disc I might add thrown in, CD. And this one is stereo and surround series as well. And if you know any Dylan, well, maybe you know Tangled Up in Blue. Pretty big hit. I love Shelter from the Storm. And my most recent SACD was Tommy the Who. Picked this up at a local music shop, brand new, like a retail shop. And it was only about 23 bucks, which is a great deal. SACD stereo, SACD surround sound, as again, you see your logos, DSD and Super Audio CD. I've had a couple listens to this. I like the hits by The Who, but I have to admit this is a great album to sit down and listen to. And this is my last SACD. The rest will be DVD audio. So the very first DVD audio I picked up was this, The Fix 1011 Woodland. It's in the nice case, by the way. I like these cases for these. Most of them, the ones I own, do not come in these nice cases. This has a lot of the hits, Standard Fall, Secret Separation, Saved by Zero, but, you know, some songs I wasn't aware of, but it's not the original version, so that sort of threw me for a loop. But it is in 5.1 surround, and it does sound great. I always liked this band. I remember thinking one time that they would go as far as U2 did when it came to music, but that wasn't to be. U2 certainly outlasted them, but I still love The Fix. Okay, so I have the Flaming Lips, as you can see, 1, 2, oh. I'm missing my third Flaming Lips DVD audio. I don't know where he's to. Should be here. Anyway, I'll show you these two. I have At War with the Mystics and the Flaming Lips Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. I had no clue about this band before I picked up these two. They came along with the Pink Floyd that I was talking about earlier and the Bob Dylan. This one, well, track listings here. Again, DVD audio. And to be honest, until recently, I had no way of playing the DVD audio portion. I'll just flip this over so you can look at the track listing as well. They have CDs included as well, so I have those set up in my CD player. Maybe that's what I did with them, but I'm not sure. There should be a third one around. I'll have a look. Here it was, just hiding out behind me. It's the Soft Bulletin 5.1 by the Flaming Lips. Again, it's the DVD and DVD audio and CD as well. So some videos and outtakes and stuff on these. Interesting. It's more a sonic thing than a musical thing, but it is kind of interesting, and I've enjoyed listening to these. The very first DVD audio I picked up was this, the Beatles Love box set, sort of, you know, small box format. But you can see DVD audio is included. It also included the CD version as well, which I already had, I think. And these are nice for listening to the Beatles. There's your track listing, by the way. I had to sort of go inside to have a look at that. But I do find these are abbreviated versions of the songs, so I'd like to have something in 5.1 that actually covers the music a little bit better. Again, track listing on the other side here as well. Okay, so nice little pickup. Picked it up for about $10 via Kijiji. This was Christmas 2021, I think, pickup. Rush Moving Pictures. Again, I think this is when I realized my player was not capable of actually playing the DVD audio layer of this. There's a DVD video layer as well, and it's in 5.1 PCM stereo, but it's not necessarily a lossless. So the advanced resolution DVD audio surround sound is only recently, since I picked up a player that was capable of playing this stuff, that I was able to hear that. Again, 5.1 surround. That little symbol next to PCM there is the one that sort of tells you about the surround. You get the 2-channel on the right and 5.1 on the left there. So this is a great pickup. One of my favorite albums by one of my favorite bands, Rush Moving Pictures. The next thing I have to show you are actually two dual discs. All right, they're both dual discs. Nice little difference in the case for this one. Got a pop open thing here, right? And you can see the disc is here. And it's multi-layered. Top version is DVD. I don't know if you can see that there. This side's DVD. And the other side would be the CD version of the Offspring's Greatest Hits. I'm not a huge fan of the Offspring. In fact, I only knew probably one song by the Offspring. I think that was, what's it called? Self-Esteem. There you go. I knew Self-Esteem fairly well. But this does say DVD video, not DVD audio. So technically, this doesn't really qualify. But it does have, I think, a 5.1 surround. All right, so I'll include it in my listing here. And I am a huge Dave Matthews fan, and this is the only disc by Dave Matthews I found in this dual disc format. It does say CD audio side and a DVD side as well. Now the DVD has some video, but it also has the sound version of the album. All right, so the DVD side has the enhanced stereo version. Again, just the stereo version, but I guess it really doesn't qualify as a DVD audio. It's just a DVD video, but at least I get some decent sounding version of that album. So that pretty well concludes